Hello friends, Dan Litvin from AYI. So we started a couple weeks ago a class on tapping into the body's wisdom, listening to what the body has to say to us. We took a little detour last week and we're back to that theme today. Today's class will be a Yin Yoga experience. Yin is a very receptive style that calls for listening in to the body, to being with the moment, to being with the thoughts, with the feelings, with the experience, whether that's a very pleasant one, and sometimes it's one that's a little bit difficult. So I don't want to go talking too much in terms of setting up class. I want us to be able to get in and enjoy. So to get started today, I will read a poem that I hope serves as a sort of, let's say, mantra or contemplative item for class. So this is by Donna Faulds from her book Go In and In, and it is the poem that the book is named after. Go in and in. Be the space between two selves, the vast, resounding silence in which spirit dwells. Be sugar dissolving on the tongue of life. Dive in and in, as deep as you can dive. Be infinite ecstatic truth. Be love conceived and born in union. Be exactly what you seek. The beloved singing yes. Tasting yes. Embracing yes. Until there is only essence. The all of everything expressing through you as you. Go in and turn away from nothing that you find. This is a class of self-discovery. It's a time of richness to explore, to experience, and I hope you enjoy. For class, I recommend a couple blocks or something that looks and feels similar to a block. I recommend a blanket as I am sitting on, and optional, but I will use it at the end of class, a bolster if you do not have a bolster, because I do not think many of us have a bolster conveniently laying around. You can get a couple pillows, whether they're throw pillows or the pillows that you sleep on. With class, I'm going to be leaving a lot of time for silence. The first few poses I'll guide you through. I'll give you a little bit of a primer on Yin and what to experience and expect from your experience. But for the most part today, you're on your own. If you have any experiences, if you have any questions, if you have any thoughts, if you have anything you feel like sharing, please, I invite you to share it in the comment section below. I love reading them. I do aim to reply to all. And I hope that together we can have a beautiful experience when we tap in to the body's wisdom. So go in and enjoy class today. Let's get started in a comfortable seated position. I'm sitting cross-legged, you could be kneeling or whatever is comfortable for you. And when you find that seat, start with your hands resting on your lap. Bring the shoulders up towards your ears, bring them back and down so the chest can open up, the shoulders can relax, and you can begin to feel some of that tension melting away from the traps in the neck. As you settle down, let those sitting bones rest heavy into the support underneath and reach the crown of your head up like a snake starting to crawl its way forward. Or I guess I should say, snake its way forward. What does a snake do? Let the eyes come to a close if they're not already. And in order to encourage deep breaths, those hands that you just pressed onto your lap, you're going to take them and you're going to give yourself a nice big hug. So wrapping hands around. And now with the next inhale, take the arms wide. Reach them wide, 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 fill up through the torso as much as you can. And when the exhale comes, to ensure you close completely, give yourself another squeeze. And you can go back and forth from these 2 points as you notice that you're opening through the torso with the hands wide, the chest wide, how can that encourage a deep breath? As you notice the hands come together, giving yourself a big squeeze, how can that encourage a complete exhale? Let's continue a few more times in silence. Today's class will just get you started, but you'll be on the journey for the most part with you, yourself, your thoughts, and your being. When the next exhale comes, let the hands relax down, but continue that same breath. Nice and full with the inhales as if you were expanding. Exhales, emptying out completely. So much time to breathe in class today. So let's get started with a little bit of movement before our yin poses. So coming onto the back edge of your sitting bones, curl back your tailbone a little bit, and then take the hips to the right and forward, left and back. You can sync this movement up with your breath if you would like. You can go slower, you can go faster. Whatever feels good, I do recommend a continual deep breath, but letting this be about opening the hips and the spine, maybe even the shoulders, maybe even the chest as you go through. Eyes open or close, your choice. Few more rotations till we switch sides. Next time you're sitting on the back edge of your sitting bones, let yourself switch directions, left and forward, right and back. Few more times. And next time you come on back, let yourself sit up nice and tall. Regardless of how you're sitting, taking the legs out in front of you for a moment, give them a few bounce outs. And let's get ready for our first yin pose. Bringing the feet together, the knees wide. You notice that I'm sitting on a blanket. What the blanket is doing is as I sit on the front edge, it's helping my pelvis tilt forward. It's going to make this a much more comfortable experience for me. So feet together, knees relaxed down. Feet can be as far or close to you as feels good. First, sit up nice and tall. And with the next exhale, hinging on forward. Wherever the hands go, the hands go. I'm going to guide you through this first yin pose, and then after that, you'll be on your own. So in yin yoga, you're trying to achieve around 80% sensation, because with time, that sensation will have time to develop and grow. You also don't want so much sensation that you remove yourself from the experience. So 80% is the sweet spot. That sensation might be physical, a nice deep stretch. It might be emotional or mental. A lot of feelings going on or a lot of thoughts going on. So find what 80% means for you and then be with it. With yin as well, you do not want to be a hero. So that means if you feel it's too deep at any point, please back out. And the best way to back out is to listen to your body and to play around a little bit. So here in this pose, for example, we can take blocks underneath the thighs and take out some of the stretch inside the hip. You can come up a little bit. You can take something like a bolster, if you don't have a bolster, a pillow, something along those lines, and you can allow yourself to rest over that. So again, whatever will serve you, play around, get comfortable, get familiar with your body, get familiar with your experience. Again, this one I just talked you through, the rest will be on your own, just you, the music here in this video, and your experience. Holding here for about 1 more minute. Very, very slowly plant your hands down. Start to crawl your torso upright. If you have any props, move them out to the side. Taking the knees together, the feet a little bit further apart. Take the hands back behind you and let the chest open up. If it feels okay for the neck can hang back as well. If it feels okay, take the feet a little wider, toes in, and draw the knees in together. Good. Sitting up. Okay. Do a similar but different pose here. So coming onto your seat, you're going to take yourself back into Baddha Konasana, just like you were. But this time you're going to extend that left leg out to the left, draw the right foot in, so you're pretty much at a point where that right shin is parallel to the front edge of the mat. If this right knee can't come down to the ground, you can take something underneath. And at any point, if there feels like there's too much stretch on the back of the left side, then you can take something underneath that left knee. So in this case, I've got a blanket that I'm putting in. Sitting up nice and tall, and then you're going to begin to walk your way straight forward. So you're not folding over that left side, you're folding over this right shin. Relaxing the head and settling in here for a couple minutes. Begin to walk your torso upright. Taking the hands back behind you. Opening the chest. Letting the head relax back slowly, guys. Simply lifting up. Let's get ready for side two. So extending that right leg out, drawing that left foot in, maybe propping up as you would like, knowing that both sides are significantly different, and that's fine. Sitting up tall, and as you're ready, folding forward, relaxing here. Taking a couple more breaths. And gently walking your torso back upright. Once again, hands come behind you. Very slowly, very gently opening the chest. If it feels okay, relaxing the neck back. Sitting upright. Take your blanket, unfold it to about this height. Place it down onto your mat, maybe around halfway through. And then hands will come under the shoulders, knees will come underneath the hips, coming into tabletop, and so slowly come through some cat-cows. Inhaling, hips lift, heart reaches forward. Exhale, tucking the tailbone, rounding the spine, maybe tucking the toes. back and forth so slowly, like you're in a pool of pudding and you slowly were moving through that delicious yet viscous fluid. Now next time you're in the cow pose, hips lifted, heart pressing forward, you're going to stay there and you'll hold here for about a minute total. Let the hands be strong. And see if you can let the stomach relax down, but at the same time, gently does it, the heart presses forward, gently does it, the hips press up and back. What you don't want is all of the weight to fall on the same little point in the spine. The next exhale, so slowly, rounding the spine on up. With the next inhale, coming back to a neutral spine. Extend the left leg back behind you, look between the hands, and exhale, step it there. Finding a good amount of space from that left heel to the back knee. You might want blocks for this next one, so blocks would frame that front foot. And the idea here is that you're going to reach the crown of that forward, straighten the spine, and then relax forward so the spine is heavy and the hips begin to sink down to the ground. So again, hands can be on blocks on the ground, maybe forearms come onto blocks. You're just going to hang out here. blocks. So slowly, torso lifts. Work the front leg in the direction straight, slowly again. And then bend that front knee, everything so slow. Take the hands down and take that left leg on back. Coming through a couple cat-cows here. Next inhale, straight spine. Right leg reaches back, look between the hands. Exhale, step it there. Once again, setting up, remembering both sides are different. So finding your version. First is tall spine, then melt it forward. Then finding that space from that front heel to the back knee so the hips can sink down. You get that nice stretch either in the quad, in the glute, in the hamstring, wherever it might be. Allow yourself to take a breath or two more. Hands on the blocks. So slowly does it, lifting the torso upright. So slowly does it, front leg in the direction of strain. Gently bending that front knee. Taking the blocks out to the side, hands down, take that front leg back. And if you have a blanket underneath you, please move it out to the side as you find your way onto your stomach. When you find your way into your stomach, take the hands atop of one another or forearms atop one another. Forehead relaxes down, feet wide, toes out, crocodile pose. Begin to press the ground down with the hands. Gently raise the head. Take the feet about hip distance apart. And then take the hands out in front of you. From here, begin to walk the elbows in. And you're going to eventually get to a point where maybe, just maybe, the elbows are directly underneath the shoulders. If this feels like it's too much for your back, walk the hands forward a little bit so the elbows are in front of the shoulders. Regardless of where you are, take the shoulder blades towards one another. Slide the shoulders down the spine so it feels like the crown of the head is reaching out from the neck. And let the heart gently press forward. This is Sphinx pose. This is option 1. You're welcome to stay here. Option 2 is to take seal pose. Hands will come wide towards the corners of the mat. Straighten out the hands. Now you do not want any compression in the low back. If there feels like there's any crunching in the spine, please do not go as deep. You will be in whatever pose you're in for a little bit less than 2 more minutes. If you need to come out early, please do. If you need to lower down, please do. Otherwise, enjoy it. With your next exhale, slowly begin to lower down, and once again find crocodile pose. Begin to gently press your way back into a child's pose. Knees wide, toes together, sit the hips back, go slow, especially as you lower down. And as you find your forehead relaxing onto the mat, take a moment to re-establish your breath. You have the luxury of feeling stomach against thighs to encourage deep inhales and complete exhales. Begin to take your hands underneath the shoulders, lifting your torso on. Bring the knees together and roll onto one side of your hips as you extend both legs out in front of you. Shake out your knees. Very nice. And from here, a few different options for the next stretch. So let's bring the knees to a bend and let's cross the legs, right shin in front of the left. And so option one is to try to take a seat so you have your foot underneath the knee on both sides. You'll sit up tall. And if this feels like it's a lot on the hips already, then this is a great place to be. Otherwise, when we get there, you'll be leaning forward from here. The next option, if you want to get something a little bit deeper, is you're going to take this left shin like we did towards beginning class, parallel to the front edge of the mat. You're going to take the right shin atop of it, so the right foot is over the left knee. Right knee tries to stack atop the left foot. Now, if this right knee is hovering a little tiny bit over this right foot, then take a blanket and fill up that gap. We want that right knee solid down onto an object. Now, if we have this thing going on where the knee's really high, then this is not the pose for you yet. Take this guy instead. If this guy is a little bit too inaccessible, take the feet closer together. Too much on the knees, put something underneath the knees. All right? So finding your leg position, I'm going to take this guy here. Take a moment to sit up incredibly tall. Next exhale, hinge forward. Relax the spine to a natural round, hands wherever they go. Head hangs heavy. Enjoy for a couple of minutes. Take a breath or two more here. Next, inhale, start to lift the torso up. So slowly. Gently does it, taking the feet down, knees bent. Take the hands behind the back. Slowly puff the chest out and look on up if it's available for your neck. Good. Bring the chin back down. Extend both legs out in front of you. Give yourself a little bounce to the knees, a little shake side to side. And now for this next pose, the knees can be together. The feet can be hip width apart. You're going to sit up nice and tall. And we'll do this twice. So for the first one, unless you are a very naturally bendy person, I recommend taking a bit of a bend to the knees and then taking something underneath the knees. A blanket here is going to be great, so the knees can relax down. So sit up tall and then begin to walk the hands forward as the torso relaxes down, natural bend. In Yin, this is called caterpillar pose, relaxing in. Inhale, gently begin to crawl your torso back up. As I said before, we'll do that one more time. Next time you'll hold for a little bit longer. Taking that blanket out, it goes underneath the knees. Like you did before, knees bend so slowly, chest puffs. Maybe the head hangs heavy. Up. And let's get ready for side two. So either left shin in front into a cross-legged seat, again aiming for a foot underneath knee. If you'd like that deeper option, left foot atop that right knee, again trying to take foot top of knee, knee atop the foot. Wherever you are, find a tall seat. Exhale, hinge forward. Take a breath or two more. Next inhale, begin to gently walk the hands in. Start to lift the torso tall. Oh, very nice. Taking the feet down, so slowly again. Hands back behind. Gently, gently, gently into that counter. lifting the head on up. And we've done this once before. Legs out in front. You know from last time how deep you want to go to establish 80%. Last time you only held for about a minute. This time you're going to hold for about 3 minutes. So making sure you're comfortable, remember the intensity will grow with time. Gravity will help push you down. So I really like to prop up to make sure that I have the structure. But finding what works for you at any time, you can adjust. As you're ready, sit up tall, crawl forward, relax down, caterpillar. Breath or 2 more. Next, inhale, hands walking. So slow. It's been a moment that you've been in here. It's been a few moments, I should say. Take that blanket out and so slowly and gently find your way onto your back. When you find your way onto your back, extend your arms up and overhead, finding a full body reach. And let the hands be heavy, let the shoulders be heavy. Take a moment to stretch from toes to fingers, and then just relax there. Bend at the knees. Press the feet down into the ground. Lift the hips up about 1 inch. Shift the hips over to the right about 6 inches and plant the hips down. Take the arms out to a T. Draw the knees to the right over the hips, the shins parallel to the ground, and drop the knees over towards the left. Try to keep both shoulders flat on the ground. If the right comes up a little bit, that's okay. If it feels better to extend the legs towards straight, be my guest, and you may want to look over that right hand. Settling in to your twist. Looking over the right, head picks back on it. Draw the knees back on it. Plant them down, take the hip back to neutral. Extend the legs long down onto the ground and just lay down for a moment. Lift the hips just an inch off the ground, shift them over to the left about 6 inches and plant the hips down. Knees over hips, shins parallel to the ground, drop them over to the right. Once again, assess what will be best for you. Maybe look over that left shoulder and settle on it. Reset the hips. Once again, legs extend, relaxing on your back. You'll be back here again soon, but we have one last pose For the last pose today, we will be doing a restorative bridge pose. So if you have blocks, you can use blocks. 1 block or 2 blocks. If you don't, a blanket will work, a bolster will work, or let's say a pillow or 2 that you have at home. For today, I'm going to use the bolster. That seems like it'll be supportive and comfortable. So have that bolster, whatever prop you're going to use beside you. Bend at the knees so the heels are underneath the knees. Press through the feet, lift the hips tall, and take that support right underneath the sacrum, the lowest part of the back, and then relax down. Arms can come out so the armpits are about 45-degree angles. If it feels better, arms can come up and overhead, wherever feels good for you. Knees can stay bent. Only if it feels supportive and good, do the legs extend towards straight. Don't be a hero here. Be honest with yourself. You might need a few moments to find the right position, but once you do, settle in, taking a few minutes here. Planting your feet heavy into the ground. If they're extended, heels underneath the knees. So slowly lift the hips. just enough that you can pull that prop out from underneath you. Slowly does it, hips lower back down to the ground. If there are any other little movements your body is calling for before Shavasana, as always, deliver them. Otherwise, feet relax towards the lower corners of your mat. Arms are making 45-degree angles with the torso. Head is heavy back, eyes to a close, and settle in Shavasana. Begin to allow the breath to return to awareness. Perhaps you invite in some deeper, fuller, more complete inhales and exhales. Bring in some small movements to fingers and toes. Wrists and ankles. Arms lift overhead. Knees draw into chest and roll to one side of your body, resting in the fetal position. Press your hands into the ground. Gently lift your way up to a comfortable seat. Taking a moment to make sure that the seat is comfortable. Eyes to close. Hands on your lap. I encourage you to stay in quiet contemplation, in quiet awareness, or quiet meditation for as long as feels right. Continuing this moment to connect with your body, to fall in between the spaces. Thank you for practicing. Enjoy your meditation. Namaste.